If you appreciate our content, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel. That will really help us to reach more people. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Soulshine Band and Brian. Powerful words. We're going to be talking about that. Love gives us the ability to believe again, even when all around us it seems dark. And I love that line about lean on your mistakes. We'll get to that in a little while. So today we are continuing and wrapping up our journey on the transformative power of love, culminating with our theme, A World Transformed by Love. What does that look like, and how do we bring it about? Throughout this series, we've explored love as more than just a feeling. It's the very essence of life itself. It's the very essence of creation. So we've looked at this from 4 different viewpoints. The first, recognizing love as the foundation of and for creation. Did you hear that? The foundation of and for creation. No true creation happens without invoking the power of love, using the power of love. Oh, we can, I like to say, without love, we create a miss, which creates a mess. We see power being used all the time throughout history without love, and it creates a mess. We see faith being used without love, and it creates a mess. But when we combine it with the power of love that underlies all creation, then we create a life of beauty, a life of harmony, and a life of peace. We understand that all existence is an outpouring of divine love, and that everything we see, touch, and experience is infused with that creative force. We think of love as a feeling, but really it's a force. It's a creative energy. And when we align with it, we co-create a world of beauty, harmony, and possibility. The next Sunday, we looked at love as the healing power, seeing how love has the ability to restore, mend, and uplift, not just ourselves, but the world as a whole. We learned that love can dissolve barriers. It can release fear and brings wholeness to our hearts, to our relationships, and to our communities. We saw that the healing power of love is not passive. It's an active force that invites us to deep compassion and then to transformation. From there, we moved into putting love into action, realizing that love is not meant to stay within us, but to be expressed through us in tangible ways. Love in action is found in our kindness to one another. And not just one another in this room, but even those people we may not agree with. It's found in our service to one another and in our willingness to forgive and our dedication to justice and inclusivity. Love calls us to be the hands and the feet of the divine in this world, making a difference wherever we are. And therefore, today we arrive at the final and most powerful part of our series, A World Transformed by Love. What would it look like? What would our world look like if love were the guiding principle in every single thing we do? How can we begin to collectively shift our consciousness to create a world where love is not just an idea, but a lived reality? So today we take a look at this, what it would look like and how we bring it about. So the first question is, how do I as an individual contribute to such a world? How can I live in a way that allows love to be the guiding principle in my life? We'll look at it through 4 lenses. The first, we are right now in the midst of what is called the season of nonviolence. How many of you know what that is? Not many. Okay, well, we are going to talk about that. The season of nonviolence shapes history and is shaping the future. It embodies our unity teachings of love and how love is a divine principle that we are called to embody. And it starts, I forgot the date. We're in the middle of it. It's the time period between the day that Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated and the day that Martin Luther King was assassinated. And it was begun by Arun Gandhi as a way to practice the principles that these two great teachers shared with us. So we'll explore that a little deeper in a few minutes. We'll also explore our teachings on love and how they interact. We'll look at practical ways to live a love-centered life. And we'll look at what that'll look like for us. So let's begin by considering how love has already changed the world through the season of nonviolence. Here's the dates: January 30th to April 4th. It's in the notes. People around the world celebrate that time, dedicated to honoring the teachings of Gandhi and King. They demonstrated that love was not passive. It's a force. It's a force for justice, a call to action, and a means of transforming human consciousness and society. Groups that celebrate it and promote it are the Association for Global New Thought, of which Unity is a member, the United Nations, and many other organizations. And this is a season that is dedicated to educating, inspiring, and empowering individuals to practice nonviolence as a way of life. This campaign promotes the idea that nonviolence is not simply the absence of physical violence, but a conscious commitment to peace, to justice, and to love. A call to us as individuals to practice it and embody those principles, to choose compassion, understanding, and respect over anger, hatred, and division. It's our choice. We can choose to resolve conflicts peacefully using dialogue and truly listening to one another, and forgiveness, which can bring about transformation. It's a time to engage in social justice, to stand up against oppression and injustice in peaceful, effective ways. Rather than getting up and yelling and screaming about how you disagree with somebody about something, it's a call to actively engage in living what you do believe and embodying it. It's about embodying kindness and service, perhaps performing daily acts of kindness and community service, because those create a ripple effect that brings about change. It's a call to be the change. As Gandhi taught, and so many others, including the Fillmores, change begins within. Inner peace leads to outer peace. Why does this matter today? Well, just look around you. In a world divided by conflict, fear, and misunderstanding, this serves as a reminder that love is a powerful force for peace and a powerful way to bring about real change. Whether it be in our personal lives, our communities, or the world at large, nonviolence calls us to respond with wisdom, empathy, and strength. And it is during this time that individuals like us, schools, churches, spiritual communities, and organizations around the world participate through meditation, through prayer, through discussions, and through daily practices on the street. Smile at somebody. Give somebody that light in your eyes. Let somebody know that they are seen and valued. In our Sunday Soul Share, which is this evening at 6:30, 6:30, we go deeper into this. So if you haven't been to a Soul Share, I invite you to come. It's powerful. I'm going to share with you a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King. True peace is not merely the absence of tension. It is the presence of justice. Gandhi said, you may never know what results come of your actions, but if you do nothing, there will be no results. So if you're afraid to do that, just think of that. If I don't do anything, nothing happens. But if I do something, even if I'm not sure, if I do it from love, an energetic shift happens in that moment, and it'll affect those around you. and they'll then pass it on to others. So we commit. We commit to being nonviolent, to focusing on peace, kindness, and forgiving, to speaking and acting with love, and to educating ourselves and others about how to be and practice nonviolence. We know that love is stronger than oppression. Gandhi said, "Where there is love, there is life." And Dr. King, inspired by Gandhi, carried this philosophy into the civil rights movement, declaring that I have decided to stick with love because hate is too great a burden to bear. It's about choices. It's about choosing to respond in peace in the face of hostility, to stand for justice without resorting to harm, and to transform conflict through the power of compassion. And while we may not be called as individuals to lead movements on a global scale, we are called to bring love into action in our daily lives, whether in our families, our workplaces, or our communities. So how do we do this through the lens of unity teachings? Well, the heart of unity's teachings is the idea that love is our true nature. As I shared a couple weeks ago, in the Bible it says we are created in the image and likeness of God. And that image and likeness is not physical, it's the vibration of love. We are love. We are meant to be love expressing. We were created to be love expressing. And when we get ourselves back to that remembrance, that realization, then we transform the world. Love is not something we have to earn. It's not something we have to chase. It is who we are at the core of our being. Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, wrote, "Love in divine mind is the idea of universal harmony. It is an inner quality that sees good in everything and everywhere." Can you look around our world right now and see good in everything? Sometimes it's hard. But when we look with the eyes of love, we can see beyond appearances. We can see good unfolding behind all the chaos. There's something happening. And it's like when we shine a light into a dark room, it chases the shadows away and reveals the beauty that has been there all the time. This teaching invites us to expand our understanding of love, to move beyond something we feel for people we like or agree with. It invites us to practice a spiritual principle that recognizes the divine presence in everybody, even those we disagree with. It's not always easy. We live in a world that often emphasizes separation, judgment, and division. But when we align ourselves with love, we begin to see with new eyes. We move beyond fear and judgment into compassion and connection. Myrtle Fillmore, the other co-founder of Unity, wrote this: "Love is the greatest healing power in the world. It is the power that draws to us all good things and keeps them in harmony and balance." Do you want peace in your life and peace for the world? Be in love. Do you want abundance in your life and for the world? Be in the energy of love. Do you want understanding for the world? Be in the energy of love. No other energy will draw that to you. Love is the great attractive force. And when we embrace that, when we embrace love, we open the door to personal and collective healing. Love dissolves resentment. It restores relationship, all relationships, and it brings clarity to our lives because it aligns us with the divine flow of abundance, peace, and joy. Brian just sang a song, "Love is Mystical." There's the line in there, "Love will break the chains." You might feel invincible and you might be afraid. Light in the darkness will show you the way and give you the power to believe again. Think about that. Love is mystical, but it's also personal. And love will break the chains of our ideas, of our beliefs, of the messages we are receiving and have received. Love will break the chains of division and separation. And we might be afraid. We might be worried and concerned. But love is a light in that energy. And it shows us the way and it gives us the power to believe again. As I said at the beginning, there's another line that speaks of leaning on our mistakes. That means we can learn from them. We have learned that nothing else works. I share this every so often. Think about war. How many things have we declared war on? Well, other people and other nations. We've declared war on poverty, on illiteracy, on overeating, on disease, on cancer, on drugs, on you name it. How well have any of those ever worked? What have we ever declared love on? Love changes things. Living a love-centered life then calls to us to do some practical things. Because a world by love does not begin with governments, it does not begin with policies, and it does not begin with systems. It begins with us as individuals. So here are 3 practices we can embody as we go forward from this season of love and nonviolence. We can practice radical kindness. Father Richard Rohr, who inspired that song, talked a lot about radical kindness. That is love that is expressed in action. As I said earlier, a kind word, a listening ear, a small act of generosity can all create ripples of transformation. How often do we underestimate the power of a small act? How many of you have ever had an experience where your day has been changed because somebody simply smiled at you? Or maybe said something that made you feel good, or listened. A simple smile can change the energy of an entire day, and with enough simple smiles, we can change the energy of an entire world. We can choose forgiveness over resentment. Have you ever thought about what that word resentment means? It means to resend what you have gotten. And usually what that is not something good. Forgiveness means to give it forth, to let it go. Holding on to grudges creates separation. Forgiveness builds the bridge across the gap. Now, that doesn't mean we excuse harm, but it means we free ourselves from the burden of resentment and we choose peace. Another practice we can have is to see and speak love. That's hard to do sometimes. We say, oh yeah, we can speak love, but can we see it? Can we see it throughout the world in all the stuff that is going on? Because I promise you it's there. Sometimes it's drowned out by media, but love is always there. When we affirm love, when we affirm peace, when we affirm goodness, we shape reality in a positive way. We do that in unity through the use of affirmations. A simple affirmation like, I am a radiating center of divine love, can shift our consciousness and bring love into every action. But let me ask you this. Have you ever affirmed the truth about somebody else to them? Have you ever looked at somebody and said, you are worthy. You are love. You are wonderful. I see the light you are. Those words are powerful, and they uplift and can change not only somebody's life in that moment, but the world. So in conclusion, what this series has been about, what the season of nonviolence is about, what unity is about, is becoming the change. Let us remember that love is not just a principle to believe in, it is a way of life to be lived. A world transformed by love is not an abstract idea. It is a reality that begins with each one of us. And every time we choose love over fear, kindness over indifference, peace over division, we become a part of this transformation. As Dr. King said, everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. And one of the most effective ways we can serve is a smile, is a kind word, is listening. So may we go forward from this experience with hearts full of grace, knowing that every act of love, no matter how small, creates ripples of transformation throughout the world. And let us begin that by affirming together. I'll say each part and then you can say it. I am a presence of love in the world. Oh, you're putting energy into it. Good. Love flows through me. Love flows from me. And love flows around me. Transforming all that I see. And if you want to use this love throughout, this affirmation throughout the weeks, it's in your app, in the notes. So may we carry this truth with us, living as beacons of love and creating a world that reflects the divine harmony that we know is not only possible, but real. Namaste.